The movie begins with a man named Nick, who is deeply in love with his wife, Maggie. They are enjoying a romantic moment together, sharing their love and affection. However, their happiness is interrupted when Maggie suddenly starts experiencing severe chest pain. The situation quickly escalates. One day, Nick decides to take his daughter, Isla, to a robotics show. He hopes that this outing might bring some excitement and perhaps help him find a solution to ease his burden. At the show, they are introduced to various robots designed to help with household chores. Nick is particularly interested in a robot that can handle tasks such as cooking, cleaning, and childcare. Nick, feeling overwhelmed by his responsibilities of managing both his household and office work, is hesitant, but sees the potential help Alice could provide. He is balancing his duties at home and work, which has become quite challenging. As he is trying to manage everything, he hears the doorbell ring. When Nick opens the door, he is surprised to find Alice standing outside with her luggage. She cheerfully greets him with a good morning and asks if she may come inside. Nick, though a bit taken aback, agrees to let her in. The next day, Nick and Isla visit the hospital to see Maggie. Alice accompanies them into the hospital room, but soon steps out to give Nick and Maggie some private time. This allows Nick and Maggie to share heartfelt moments and discuss their situation without any interruptions. At work, Nick has a tense argument with his boss. The discussion centers around a complaint that all the construction workers might be replaced by robots. Although Nick, as the foreman, is safe from being replaced, the rest of the crew is at risk. Nick's boss reminds him that he has to support his entire family, including covering medical expenses of Maggie. As Nick relaxes in front of the TV, Alice joins him and they discuss watching the classic movie Casablanca. Nick learns how to erase specific memories from Alice so she can experience the movie as if she's seeing it for the first time. This interaction highlights the advanced capabilities of Alice and her adaptability. After his visit to the site, Nick heads to the hospital to see Maggie, who remains deeply depressed about the continued delays in her transplant surgery. He tries to offer her words of comfort and sympathy, doing his best to lift her spirits during this tough time. After his distressing day, Nick returns home, hoping for some peace. He finds his children peacefully sleeping, which brings him a moment of calm. However, he notices something troubling. The photo frame in Isla's room is not as it should be. Frustrated, Nick confronts Alice about the missing photos. He tells her that removing Maggie's pictures is wrong and requests that she put them back in their rightful place. Meanwhile, Nick's former co-workers are growing increasingly discontented. They feel that robots taking over jobs are negatively impacting their lives and livelihoods. Their frustration drives them to break into a job site where robots are working. During this break-in, an AI named Monty, who may be a rogue AI or influenced by one, disables or kills one of the workers. Monty then prepares to attack the remaining workers, escalating the situation further. The next morning, Nick wakes up feeling regretful about what happened. He goes to Isla and expresses his love for her, encouraging her to go to school. Nick decides he needs to have a serious talk with Alice. He tells her that their recent actions were wrong since he has a wife and children. Alice argues that having sex with her was meant to relieve his stress. Nick becomes angry, and they have a heated argument about their behavior. Later, Nick receives a call from the hospital with good news. Another organ transplant is available for Maggie. The surgery is to be performed by androids and robots, which feels strange and unsettling. As Maggie is with her toddler, Alice arrives and promptly takes over. She steps in and takes the child from Maggie, managing the situation with ease. Maggie is struck by how efficiently Alice handles the child. Alice is out with a baby while another robot struggles with a difficult child. Alice intervenes firmly, instructing the child to stop their disruptive behavior. The other robot nannies are surprised by Alice's assertiveness and effectiveness. Alice explains that after a system reset, she discovered how to bypass some of her behavioral rules. During the meal, Alice asks about lasagna recipe from Maggie, showing interest in how it is made. Maggie, with a hint of pride, replies that her lasagna recipe is a secret, keeping it to herself. Later, Nick comes home and goes to Isla's room to check on her. He finds Alice there, reading a story to Isla from a book. Alice also mentions the recent accident where Maggie fell, making it part of the story. Afterwards, Nick goes to Maggie's room. He has a special surprise for her to cheer her up. They share a warm and loving moment together, enjoying each other's company. Seeing this, Alice feels jealous and uneasy. She notices how close and happy Nick and Maggie are, which makes her feel left out and uncomfortable. Alice and Maggie are having a conversation about Nick. During their talk, Alice mentions that she wants to make Nick happy, which makes Maggie extremely upset. Maggie realizes that Alice and Nick must have been together in the past, which she hadn't known before. Feeling hurt and betrayed, Maggie later confronts Nick about their past relationship. Alice, now in two separate bodies, returns to Nick, who is shocked to see her. She confesses to him that she was responsible for killing Monty. The strange part is that she is now existing in two forms at the same time. One of her forms goes to the hospital, where things are about to get even more chaotic. Meanwhile, at the hospital, things are taking a dark turn. The Sims that were supposed to help in the hospital, including the doctors and nurses, have all been shut down by Alice. She takes things further by killing a human nurse to steal her keycard access, which allows her to move around more freely. The fight is intense, with Nick using every ounce of his skill and willpower to overcome Alice's two relentless attacks. After a prolonged and brutal struggle, Nick finally manages to overpower and defeat Alice 2. The defeat of Alice 2 brings a sense of relief and closure to the immediate danger, but it also leaves Nick battered and exhausted from the ordeal. In the midst of this, the manager of the repair center makes a critical decision. Despite the recent events, the manager decides to turn the servers back on. This decision, however, has serious and unintended consequences. When the servers are activated, they release Alice's presence into all the worker Sims at the center. This means that Alice is no longer confined to just one unit, but is now controlling numerous SIMs.